Hello everyone, I'm Matrix, but you can just call me Matrix, and welcome back to another God of War Ragnarok build video. And today's build video, I haven't done anything like it before. I've done best builds, I've done my favorite builds, and, well, today is my spear only God of War Ragnarok build. Or God of War build, because this is the only game that has spear. So, this one, it focuses just on spear, and obviously you can still use your runic attack and shield, but no other weapons. No Leviathan Axe, no Blades of Chaos. The only melee Kratos weapon that you can use is the spear. That's what it focuses on, and yeah. And in this video, I will not have anything for Freya, really, because it's not the spear. But if you were just using the spear, this is the build you would want. Now, let's get into it. All right. So, for obviously the Draupnir spear, we need the Hind of Deadly Vitality. Link for this will be in description. Link for all this will be in description unless it is unlocked in the story. So anyways, Hind of Deadly Vitality. Moderate luck chance to grant a health burst on any spear kill. Since you were literally only going to be getting kills with a spear, this is really good. Now, for my favorite runic attack, these you could change just to do whatever you really like to. Have fun with the spear, because anything's going to be super powerful with this build. But for me, Thrust of 1,000 Soldiers. Damage is really high, and just being able to impale basically all your spears into one enemy and then just let it go is really helpful, especially on a boss. There's a link for this in the description, and here is some gameplay of the Thrust of 1,000 Soldiers. Alright, next up, heavy runic attack is this guy's Windstorm. I can never say it. Vinslavers, Vinsavaler. I'm not even trying. Windstorm. This one you unlock in the story, and this is just really good for controlling, like, area of effect in groups and stuff, because the tornadoes actually last for a long time, and they don't really track enemies, but they kind of do at the same time. Like, there's minor tracking on it. They don't go straight to an enemy. They more circle around that enemy and hit him most of the time. Using it on one enemy is also really good too. It does a ton of damage and stun to that one enemy. But using it as groups is what it's basically used for. And here is some gameplay of that. Now, moving on to the shield, I will be using for this build the Shatterstar shield because it looks really good alongside the spear, and it is great for stun just at any moment. This build, since the spear builds up a lot of stun, this build focuses a lot on stun as well. So Shatterstar shield, you can just charge it up any time, stay basically at walking speed when you're using it, which is really good. And yeah. So, and then there's a link for this in the description. Now for the Rond, I use the Rond of Fortification, because holding L1 for several seconds, which you will already be doing with this shield, you'll just have to hold it down for like 1 extra second. It triggers a high stun explosion on the next successful block or double L1 attack, which is what you'll be using with this shield. So these two together are like the perfect combination. Because you'll be holding down L1 to charge up the shield, which will also be charging up this. All you have to do is just hold down L1 for like an extra second, which will then trigger this fortification effect, and then you double tap L1 and you get an even bigger stun explosion. So, both those links in the description. My rage I use, Wrath, I use this in all my builds. It's just, in my opinion, the best one. And yeah. So, now on to the Relic. We have what the heck was that? Oh, that was my phone. Hold up. Let me silence those notifications. Anyways, the Relic, we have the Hilt of Skofnug. which is just the best relic in the game. And yeah, here it summons 12 swords that track enemies, and then it, when upgrade to level 3, or I think it does this on all the levels, but level 3 just reduces its cooldown. Then it ends with an explosion. So yeah. Anyways, here is the Hilt of Skafnuk gameplay. Alright, now it's time to move on to the armor. I have the entire Hunter's set for this, so links for all these in the description. Hunter's Pauldron. Holding L2 for several seconds grants a buff increasing all range attack damage for a short duration. So basically, the spear, you know you can throw it, so holding down L2 and throwing the spears when the empowered range is activated will do more damage. And then I believe when this is activated, if you actually explode your spears, they'll do more damage, but I haven't really gotten the test that much, so don't take my word for it. But really, throwing the spears will definitely, they do a lot more damage, and you'll be wanting to do that so you can impale and then explode them. Now for the wrist and the belt, we have the Hunters again, which increases the damage of all Kratos' range attacks and abilities, which again, throwing the spears just increases your damage overall. And same thing with the Hunter's belt. Now for the amulet, we have Midgard's Virtue, which the Midgard set increases the damage of all Kratos' range attack and abilities based on his cooldown. And we actually have some pretty high cooldown on this. We have Midgard's Endurance and Midgard's Honor, mostly for that cooldown, and then a little bit of Vitality, and then obviously that luck chance for the Hind, the pommel, whatever you want to call it. Now we have the Swolfheim set, specifically Lifeblood, Honor, and Fortune, which, in this case, it increases stun damage inflicted based on Kratos' defense. So basically, this build, the spear builds up a lot of stun, so you'll be wanting to use this. Now, we also have the Muspelheim set, specifically Muspelheim's Protection, Muspelheim's Blessing, and Muspelheim's Essence, which this increases Kratos' melee damage when Permafrost, Immolation, or Maelstrom skill gauges are fully charged based on his runic. So it increases your melee damage when Maelstrom is, or Strom, wait, haven't we been calling it Storm this entire time? Oh my gosh, it's Maelstrom. Sorry, I guess I've been messing up this entire time. Anyways, since you'll just be using the spear, you'll be building up that Maelstrom, and yeah. So, and then increases your melee damage. So then when you're hitting people just with the spear normally, it increases it. Now, that is actually it, except for one last thing. I will show you what mod tokens I use on the spear. Which, it's all damage. It's all damage. You see, it's all damage here, except for these two. Because these two do not have a damage option. This one is stun, and this one is also stun. The reason why it's damage is because this will be the only weapon you'll be using, and it doesn't do that much damage. So this entire build is basically helping increase the damage of the spear, which when you're just using one weapon, you want to increase the damage of it. So why not give it that slightly more boost when you're using the other skills by increasing their damage, even if it's just slightly. And then also moderately increasing stun for these two, which I guess makes sense. Now, excuse me. That is it for this build. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you might be thinking, well, why make a spear-only build if you could get the spear halfway through, and at that point you might not even want to just play with one weapon all the way through? Well, because I made this build, one, because some people might like the spear as their favorite weapon and might need a really good build, and two, I will be doing a spear-only run of the game when New Game Plus comes out. I'll do my New Game Plus run, and then at a later time, maybe a month or two after, I'll do my spear-only run, where I just use the spear in New Game Plus. Now, there might be armors or other things that increase and help the spear and increases the damage and stuff, but I'll be basically using this build when New Game Plus comes out. Whether there's more new armor to replace this that is better or not. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed, because I have, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!